everybody. I'm back today. Yesterday kind of got away from me, so I decided it wasn't going to happen unless you wanted to watch me on Facebook Live at like 10 o'clock at night. Anyways, I decided to come back to the park today and take a little walk, so we can do that. Hang on one second. There we go. So I know some people are talking about what day it actually started, and honestly I don't know what day is like the start. I know it's December if you're in China, but if you're here in the US, I guess they had a variety of dates that have been coming up, so maybe this is like day 25 or something like that. Anyway, so I know people are concerned about how long is it going to last, what's going to happen to all types of things, the airline industry, people's jobs, people's businesses. I know I'm concerned about mine as well, but I also know that I've always been taken care of, so I'm probably not as, I don't even know what the right word is, not fearful at all. I feel like there's a light in all of this. And hey Sarah, hey Debbie. This morning, hey Carl. I get out of people's ways. And checking out this big tree here. He's a beauty. Hi Sue. Hi Crystal. What time is it in Germany? I don't even know. Anyways, you're right, Robin. It's a beautiful blue sky. Puffy clouds. Just a very gorgeous day. A little on the cool side. Oh, we got the sun peeking. Oh, that's the moon over there. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, I can see it. Hey Dorothy. Hey Cindy. So, it's just another beautiful day on the planet Earth. And we've got people out walking, enjoying this refreshing air that we have here in Connecticut today. Thank God for fresh air. I'm wondering if maybe the pollution levels are dropping in places. I know somebody had posted a picture of Los Angeles without the smog. Like, how great is that? So this is one of my favorite places to come to here. And this park is right here where the water flows through the bridge. Look at that beautiful work that got put into putting that bridge together. Who knows when that was, right? Probably the 1800s, early 1900s maybe. I'm not sure how long it's been here. But the architecture and the quality of masonry and stonework back then is amazing. I even just look at my own house. It's got a fieldstone basement and foundation, and then it has brickwork that was done on the inside for my fireplace, and then the outside it's fieldstone. It's just gorgeous. Here's the little note that they're putting up for everybody. Hey Tim. So, do not gather in large groups or play contact sports during this time. So, I think for the most part people are taking heed to some of that, since we don't really know as much as I think they'd like to know about this COVID-19. Although I think it's becoming more clear that it is obviously very contagious, and that it does seem to live on some surfaces for a period of time. So again, wash your hands with soap. So I did hear that it doesn't matter if the water is hot or cold, just soap is a good thing. If you don't have that, hand purifier. Speaking of that, yesterday, a package came in the mail that they had told me they didn't have any more hand sanitizer, hand purifier, and 10 of them arrived. So if anybody needs some, let me know. It's pure essential oils, and you can have it at cost. When I had called, they said they didn't have any more, and miraculously they arrived. So I was pretty happy about that, because I know a few people that don't want to use like Purell because of the toxins in it and stuff like that. So if anybody needs some natural hand purifier, let me know. So, like I said, another beautiful day. Maybe the smog will lessen in places where there were lots of cars running around and driving around and people bustling from here to there. That has definitely subsided in most of the world, it looks like, from what I can tell. And what kind of a blessing is that going to be for all of us to have, albeit enforced or forced stillness that hopefully doesn't drive you crazy. You can be comfortable in your own skin. There's something to be said about just hanging out with yourself. Hey, Jackie, Arizona on the line. How cool is that? Hi, Abby. There's something about that. Here's some more beautiful stonework. Look at this stuff. Isn't that amazing? It's just gorgeous. So, if you have trouble with forced stillness or forced non-busyness, you can use that meditation I talked about the other day and see what comes up for you. We had talked about it a little bit because I know that I used to think I was meditating wrong, or that I couldn't do it, or that I wasn't capable of it because my mind is always racing. And, just that thought of just standing here, I'll stand here for a minute, close my eyes, and just listen to the sounds around me. It's kind of nice, right? Hi, Janet. Hey, Dave. Long time no talk. When I close my eyes and listen to the sounds around me, even if it's only for a few minutes at a time, I just enjoy that peacefulness that comes, where if a thought does come to me, I can just accept the thought and release it and send it on its way. So your mind is always trying to do its best for you, so don't fight it. Don't think that just because you can't have a still mind, or that you can't, what's the right word? Have no thoughts. I guess that's the word I'm going to use, terminology I'm going to use. There really probably is no such thing. I'm not sure there's even monks can do that. I'm sure they try, and I'm sure they're somewhat successful to some degree with that process. But, it's natural for our minds to operate. They're here to protect us. Danger, danger. But you know what? We know that there's far few dangers in this world that we live in, most of us live in, that years ago there were many more, especially caveman days. Danger was around the corner probably every time they got up. And so one of the things I think about is, your mind is there to protect you. Your mind is there to take care of you. Your mind is there to tell you what's the right thing maybe the next right thing to do. So if you want to, look at it as a blessing when thoughts come through, but also recognize that they don't have to stay, and you don't have to take them to a negative place. You can control your thoughts. I always say thoughts are things. Some of you know I listen to that Mike Dooley, I think his name is, whatever his name is. Anyways, thoughts are things, and you can control your thoughts, and you can change your life by thinking different things. So you don't have to get caught up in the mania, the fear, the anxiety, the mind racing, or any of those things if you choose not to. You can choose to not get caught up in that. It's not the easiest process. I know that it didn't happen overnight for me. However, I can control my thoughts. I remember a time, and one of my daughters remembers it well because it freaked her out, where my mind was just racing. And I was in panic mode, had anxiety through the roof. It's about, I'm going to say 25, 30 years ago. It is now. Back in 1990, I think it was. And, I just could not seem to control my own thought process. So it's not like I've never been there, guys. I have. And it took a lot of work to get to a place where I could. And one of those ways was doing this was, in the beginning, I did a lot of guided meditation because that's what seemed to be the thing to do. I didn't know anything about this other one that I do now. And that helped a lot because I could change what was going on in my mind by trying to focus on what the guided meditation was guiding me to. And a lot of times it is. It's a process. So we all learn things as we need them in life or as we desire them. So sometimes you gotta wanna, as they say. And in that process, that's the same seeking that people want sometimes, is to find the process that works for you. Oh, you guys, isn't that cute? We got some little ducks here. I hope I didn't scare them off. But they're having a happy day, huh? Every day's happy if you're a duck. So we've got some people on the planet that can really help you with kind of helping your mind get straight. I watched part of the interview with the guys who started that website, or app, rather. Sorry, it's an app, Calm, and you've probably seen it on TV once in a while where they just have rain with leaves, and it's like 15 seconds of calm, CALM. So you can check that out. I think they're doing like 5 or 6 days for free, and there's all these meditations. And check this out. Look what somebody did. Isn't that cute? Adorable. Hey, Diane. Are you in California or Connecticut? Sylvia. Here's another one. Look at that. Little painted rocks everywhere along the path here. So, and they talked about these guys started this about 7 years ago, and now it's a $1 billion company because people want mindfulness, being present, being able to control their own thoughts, getting themselves out of sleep issues, getting themselves out of anxiety issues, allowing themselves to have a calm day. All that's part of good health, This is, hi there, girl. Let's see, got a question here. I'll try to answer. What are you doing besides guided meditation helping you with changing your mindset? Oh boy, where do I start with that? Like I said, I used to do a lot of guided meditations, which if that's where you need to start. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Deborah. Guided meditations was my beginnings of listening to people to calm myself or to just think other thoughts. For me, and that's why I do this on a daily basis, walking is a part of a meditation for me, a walking meditation. I think I might have mentioned it on a previous walk and talk. I've only been doing them for a week now, so they're all on my page. But taking a walk for me is getting grounded and allows me to be present to myself. So I'm literally here right now. I'm not thinking about where I'm going after this. I can think about that, but I'm not. I'm thinking about right here and right now that I want to be present to myself. So part of it is walking for me is part of a daily practice that I have. So I think it's a lot of different things that have to do with health and wellness that keep a person healthy in your mind, your body, and your spirit. So if I had to name off all my practices, we'd be here for another 20 minutes, I think. But, some of them are these. Meditation, the quiet meditation. Don't just do something, sit there. I say that a lot to myself and to others. because sometimes it's easier to do things and be mindless about things. Oh, here's another rock. This is just so cool as we keep going through the park here. Walking is good for me. I belong to a spiritualist church. That's good for me. I have another support group that is recovery minded. That's good for me. I read a lot. That's good for me. Drinking a lot of water. I know that sounds like probably not a practice so much as it is something that I do that I think is very good for flushing out your system and making sure you drink enough water. A lot of times people say, oh, well, I don't really have hunger or thirst. And they find out that, they're just dehydrated. So drinking quite a bit of water, not only when you're thirsty, is a good thing, especially as you get older. The thirst thing isn't as prominent. You don't feel thirsty. So it's good to take sips on a regular basis if you're, say, over 60 like me. And so let me think, what else do I do? Many times it is spending time with people who I really connect with. That helps me with my thought process. Changing my mindset also has to do with, I think, asking my Creator to help me to recognize the things that I need to do to take good care of myself. So some of those things, as I just mentioned, are there. And you know what? The other thing is change it up and switch it up. I'm not a gym person. I don't particularly care to go to the gym. I know a lot of people do, and that's part of their social life. And maybe it's part of their meditation. Who knows? Who am I to judge? But there's things that people do to help them to be present to themselves. That's a beneficial thing. Anytime you can be present to yourself, I think is good. Robin this morning sent me this cool drumming with the birds in the background, and I loved it, because I followed the Red Road for well over 20 years. Sweat lodges and a lot of Native American things, and that was another piece of my journey. So there have been pieces of my journey over the years that have brought me to where I am today. And I think they're all part of the seeking. So I'm always seeking. I don't ever feel like I'm ever done. So for me, that's I guess, one of the things I think about when you ask me that, Barb. So let's see. If you're on a roller coaster, maybe a good thing is to enjoy the ride. I know that sounds facetious, and I don't mean it that way. But sometimes you have to just go with it and don't try to stop something, because when you try to stop something, that causes more. It's like the struggle is there then, right? Sometimes you have to allow and to just go with things. So for me, I know there were times in my life when I did struggle with a lot of different things and realized later on, the struggle is me not accepting life on life's terms. And you know what? For today, if I wanted to paint a picture, I can paint a dreary picture or I can paint a sunny picture. So I think that's what I think about. If I'm on a roller coaster, maybe I need to just go with it and enjoy the ride. Allow myself to be where I am. What's the worst that can happen? I've said this before. You've already survived all the things in your life that you thought you couldn't live through, or that you thought were terrible, or that were terrible, but you've survived them all, so you can survive this too. And it's just living one day at a time. If you have to, you live 12 hours at a time, an hour at a time, a minute at a time, and just stay present to yourself. So that's one of the things hey, Deb. Another Deb. I know a lot of Debs. Hey, Jim. Oh, hi, Kelly. I hope the kids went to sleep. I'll be over in a little bit. I never know what each day is going to bring me. And you know what? Every day is different. In my life, anyway. And probably in your life, too. And now that they've all changed in the last 20, 30 days, whatever it's been, that life has kind of changed the whole world. I think it's very unsettling to people. And I know there's a lot of people that can't live with chaos. They need a lot of structure. I'm not one of them. I guess I'm blessed because it's okay with me to live in chaos, either a messy house or chaos in general in life. I just know it's only for today, and so then I can live with it. I can live that one day at a time. And one of the things that I think about is that, just recently passed the mile marker, so to speak, of my daughter passing a year ago. And as much as it was a rough day, it was like, wow, like a week into it, 2 weeks into it, I thought I could never live like this. And yet I have, and I am. And as difficult as it is sometimes, it's also something that I can recognize in myself, that I can do this. And so I'm just kind of sometimes I have to pat myself on the back and go, it's going to be okay. I'm bringing up my tears. But I do that a lot anyways. Tears is a normal function of life. And I know too that when I was younger, I was always shamed for crying. Because I think I cried at everything. Or that's what my family thought anyways. That I cried at everything, which I did. I still am, a very empathic, sensitive person. But I had to put on a very tough exterior in order to survive in my family. And I did. I did that for a lot of years. It was kind of like you do what you got to do. So I've learned to, allow myself to be who I am. Oh, hey, Marcia. Hey, Zach. Say hi to Sue, your mom, Sue. Hi, Deborah. See, I told you there's another one. There's another Deborah. And so from that tough exterior, that was my protection for things that would hurt me in the world, emotions and all that kind of stuff. I've learned to just accept that, you know what? When I cry, I cry. And I don't care where I am. I don't care when I do it. And I accept that that's who I am. And it's okay, A lot of people deal with grief in their lives. I'm not the only one that's lost a kid. I'm not the only one that's lost a spouse. I'm not the only one that's lost a dad. I'm not the only one that's lost my nephew. There's been a lot of losses in the last few years. And I've lost friends, too, over the years, obviously. Once you hit 60, you've probably lost quite a few friends. And close friends, too. But you realize that, grief is a part of living. I'm one of those people that says there's a few things that I think are very big in people's lives that if they don't deal with, continue a downward spiral. One of them is grief, and the other one is guilt. So, for me, I don't have any real guilt anymore because I did the best I could with what I had at the time. And if I learn better, I do better. So I have very little guilt. It does crop up once in a while because there's times I think, I could have done better things for my kids or to my parents or whoever, friends. And there's times I look back on myself at a certain age and go, wow. Hey, Rich. Hi, another Deborah. Hey, Deb. But you know what? I did what I did, sometimes unconsciously, and that's who I was at that time. Now that I know more, that I am better to myself, that I'm more present to myself, I don't do those same things anymore. So it's all about forgiveness of self, not allowing that shame to define you, not being a victim to it either, because that's important, right? So, anyways, there's a lot of things that come into taking good self-care, and I think in this time of the COVID-19, people were joking like the COVID-19 means you're going to stay home and eat and you're going to put on 19 pounds in no time at all. So be careful of that. It's easy to eat your way through problems too, right? And so take a look at what is the real you in the inside and honor that. Give that real you a big hug. for making it this far in life, that you've survived all these things that have happened to you, through you, and around you. And you're still here. And you know what? Put a smile on your face and take another step forward. That's what life is all about. It's about taking another step forward. And we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I truly believe in my higher power, my creator, my angels, nature, that there are all these things that are working to conspire to help me. They're always conspiring to help me. And I'm going to try to stay present in that, knowing that nothing will come my way that together we can't handle. And there's a lot of people that maybe don't have that. If you want to borrow mine, feel free. It's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than anything I can even imagine. So for me, I hope you have a pleasant day today. And I will get back on tomorrow at some point. I wish I could tell you exactly when I'm going to do this, but I never really know. So I guess it's going to be what it is. But I know today that I'm having a good day. I too had to call credit card and banks and other things yesterday that took up a lot of my day, just to kind of see where I was at with things and apply for, SBA and whatever they call it. There's some kind of program out there, because my business just disappeared overnight too. All the event stuff. So it'll come back. I trust it'll come back bigger and better. And, oh, here's another rock. Oh my gosh, these people are just so cute. Look at that. Hey, Karen. Isn't that lovely? I don't know who's doing that, but I love it. And I see it. So it's even better. As we're taking our little walks here, you get to see it too. Oh, here's another one. Kind of makes you looks like a little mushroom, doesn't it? That's adorable. So, anyways, where were we? As I move through life and live one day at a time and be present to myself, I too can get through this, not only financial crisis, but emotional instability that I think is always knocking on my door, but I'm not answering. So I'm not going to allow world events or my thoughts to take me away from myself. I think that's the important thing for me. So be present to myself, be there for the people that want me, need me, and I want to be with them. I was blessed to have a FaceTime with my 4-year-old granddaughter, who I have not seen for, it's been 2 months now, because we didn't see her just before this happened, and now we can't because they're in another household. So, but we had a good time on FaceTime. She misses me and I miss her. And she's only 4, but she is, tell you, the spitting image of her mother, my daughter who passed. She is unbelievably cute. And I had a nice little FaceTime chat with her today. So that was wonderful. So little blessings, big blessings, and all blessings to everyone today. So although you can't quite see it, it's behind those clouds. I guess I'm going to sign off in the same way as usual. The sun is always shining, guys. And I'll be with you again soon. Love y'all. Be good to yourself today. Bye for now.